Hey, so today we're going to do a install on the new Crown SF from Virtue for my rotor. As you can tell, retails for about $45, a bit pricey, but we'll see how well it does. It claims it's made out of polycarbonate, so it should be a little stiffer. On my high cap rotor, I currently have a KM spine installed on there, so we're going to take that out and install the crown. So basically how you install this is, if you had a rotor, you basically take out the mounting screws inside, take off the accent. With the new Crown SF rotor, the spring feed, it should make it a lot more rigid for those that are used to seeing your speed feed kind of bulge outwards if you were to flip it sideways, or those rare occasions you have your marker upside down. And once in a while you do lose a few balls out of it. So essentially remove the accent, take out, in my case I don't have the lid, so I'm just removing a spine. There goes the KM spine. As you can tell, the fingers come separated. As you can see, hard plastic. It's got a little spring to it. Just kind of neat. It's very rigid polycarbonate hard plastic. There is no real instructions. Just comes with a piece of cardboard. But how you install this, you take the ring, and if you notice on the ring there are two notches. That's the standard for those that have installed speed loaders. That's where you mount them, right where the holes would be on your rotor, where the mounting screws would go in. So right there is where those two indents should line up. Now what you do with these fingers are face them upward and basically put them where you want. There's a bunch of different holes in here that you can pretty much put the fingers in. You essentially can snap them any way you want. So they do snap in place pretty well. As you can tell, I have mine centered. Now essentially you just put your accent plate back on over it. Push down, flip it around, and then put the screws back in. It's very straight, simple installation. You don't, on these screws, you don't really have to torque them down too hard. Just basically snug. You don't have to go nuts. The screws aren't going to fall out. Once you kind of have them snug in there, they should pretty much stay where they are. Once I put this in, what we're going to do is I'm just going to do a little comparison test with one of my spare rotors that I have, which has a HK Army speed loader mounted, but it does not have the high cap like the one I'm currently installing the Crown SF on. What I want to show is how, if I flip it upside down, how much flexing if we lose any balls or not on it. So essentially mount it back in, snap it closed. As you can see, does a really good job. If you're used to playing with your normal speed loaders, you stick your finger in and you pull up, you tend to kind of pull the plastic. Since this is a hard plastic, you really can't pull it back up and it won't flip the other way. So what we're going to do is take my other speed loader. As you can tell, with the high cap, which is this one, versus a normal rotor, does have a HK Army speed loader on here, which what I was saying is, I'm sure everyone's done this, put your finger through and then pull it up. You can actually get your finger in and out of it. With the Crown SF, you stick your finger in there, you actually can't get your finger out. The hard plastic holds your finger in there. So what we're going to do is 2 even pods of reballs. Okay, we're going to fill the HK Army. I'm going to load it up, and of course the regular loader doesn't fill up all the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a flip over. I'm going to shake. The HK Army does do a pretty good job, but you do lose a few once in a while if you do shake it vigorously. Because right now I've lost 3 balls. One just happened to bounce inside the other rotor. But the HK does do a great job if you do have it upside down on the sag test. The speed loader actually doesn't sag all that much, but if you shake it hard enough, you will lose a few balls. Now we're going to try it with the Crown SF. Full loader. Obviously with the high cap, I can manage to dump the entire pod in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump the remaining balls from the other pod in here as well. So it's going to be nice and heavy. And as a matter of fact, I'm just going to load up balls from the other rotor just to fill it up to capacity. Fill it up nicely, as you can see. As you can tell, full capacity on a high cap. And I'm actually shaking this harder than I was shaking the HK Army feed, and not one ball came out. So, pretty good. The balls are just coming out on the feed neck. But impressive. It does what it claims to do. And even with this much weight and paint on a high capacity, nothing's coming out. So, good job, Virtue. Enjoy.